And this is the Passion of Christ, seen from the perspective of a Jewish citizen who witnessed his suffering, death, and resurrection. As Jesus entered Jerusalem riding on a donkey, the crowd welcomed him with palm branches and shouts of "Hosanna to the Son of David." The Pharisees and religious leaders began to worry about Jesus' growing popularity. Jesus gathered his disciples to celebrate the Jewish Passover. He broke the bread and shared the wine, instituting the Eucharist. "This is my body. This is my blood." He washed the disciples' feet as an act of humility and service. Judas, the traitor, was the only one who left to hand him over to the soldiers. After the supper, Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray. He suffered great anguish, and his prayer was intense. "Father, if possible, take this cup from me, but let your will be done." Soon after, Judas arrived with temple guards and betrayed Jesus with a kiss on the cheek. Jesus was taken to the high priest Caiaphas and then to Pontius Pilate. He was falsely accused, beaten, and humiliated. Pilate offered to release him, but the crowd shouted, "Crucify him." To appease the people, Pilate washed his hands and handed Jesus over to be scourged and crucified. As if that were not enough, a crown of thorns was pressed onto his head by the soldiers. His suffering continued. Jesus carried the cross through the streets of Jerusalem until he could no longer bear its weight. A man named Simon of Cyrene was forced to help him. The women of Jerusalem, who followed him, wept for him. After a painful journey, he reached Golgotha, completely exhausted and torn apart, to be crucified. Jesus was nailed to the cross between two thieves. He forgave his executioners. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." His pain and anguish were so immense that he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" and gave up his spirit. The temple veil was torn, signifying that the sacrifice was complete. But on the third day, Jesus rose again, conquering death and bringing the hope of salvation for you and me.